And this is something which we need to be very cognizant of, that some victims actually then become mules, money mules, and potentially face the prospect of being convicted as a criminal themselves. And you've heard of this description of money mules. So if someone sends you money and asks you to send it to someone else, don't do it, because you could then become a money mule and you may well then become the focus of investigation by law enforcement. And I think we need to warn more and more people that if you are dabbling in this kind of activity, the chances are that you could become a defendant. And 10 years ago, 15 years ago, possibly that was not going to be a reality, but it's happening more and more these days. Now, I just want you to meet this lady. She's 81. She's from Kirkwood, Missouri. Her name is Glenda Syme, and I want you to listen to her story and how she refers to my love.
My name is Glenda, and I'm 81 years old. In 2014, I met the love of my life online, and he told me that he was a U.S. citizen and was working in Nigeria. He asked me for money to help with his business and help lead Nigeria. Then my love had people send me electronics like cell phones so I could pawn them and send him the money. When I couldn't get the money that he wanted, he asked me to open personal and business bank accounts. Since 2015, bank employees, local police officers, and federal agents told me that my love was a scam and that I needed to stop or I could go to jail. I didn't listen to anyone else but my love, the love I've never seen nor spoken to. Now I don't have a choice of whom I'll listen to. On November the 2nd, 2021, I pled guilty to 2 federal felonies. I'll be listening to the judge now.
So there we are. Next week, February the 10th, she is going to be sentenced by a federal judge to those 2 felonies. And I think certainly as part of her rehabilitation, it's wonderful that she was willing to go and create this YouTube video. This video, I think everybody needs to watch because it really has an impact. So what should you be looking for if you believe that somebody within your own family or a neighbor or a friend may be at risk of becoming a victim or worse, a money mule as well? Look for changes in their behavior. Maybe they're going to be going out, going to the credit union, to the bank, withdrawing cash, going to the grocery store, buying gift cards, even asking you, how does Bitcoin ATMs work? Huge red flag. So watch out for that, because that is probably a huge indicator that something is wrong. They may actually get into financial difficulty. They may come and ask if they could borrow money in order just to simply pay their own utility bill because they've been giving all their other money to the scammer. So what should you do if you are a victim and have lost money to the scammer? The worst thing we can do is stay silent. And if you are living in the San Diego County area, then this is the number you can call. This is the number that goes out to Adult Protective Services, and they can be of a great help to you and a great resource, and they can also assist with helping to file a police or sheriff's crime report. Now, if you do file a crime report and law enforcement tells you this, oh, you know what, the suspect is probably overseas, it's not worth taking a report. Don't put up with that. We have got to convince every single law enforcement agency to do a report. And the reason being that we need the statistics to be able to present them to our local, state, and federal legislatures to show them how prevalent this crime is in order to receive more budget money so that we can hire more prosecutors, we can hire more investigators, more APS workers in order to try to go after these crooks. We've got to convince victims to overcome feelings of embarrassment. We all know that, how obvious it is to be embarrassed. But if you can overcome that, the worst thing is to stay silent. So if you have found yourself wiring money or buying gift cards, you should contact the institution or the store immediately. For example, if you've given the number on the back of the gift card to the crook already, maybe they just haven't got around to doing anything about it. Maybe you can actually salvage that. But certainly call your local law enforcement and demand that a report be taken. And as I said, be prepared for a refusal because of this response, okay? Sometimes they'll say this, well, there's no crime here because you gave the money voluntarily. That is an excuse. That is not accurate. That is not actually the legal interpretation. Just because you gave the money voluntarily doesn't make you any less a victim, okay? The crime has been committed. There is theft, there is fraud, there's misrepresentation. Or they might tell you the crime didn't occur here, we don't have the jurisdiction. That again is misleading, it's not correct, it's not accurate. It's unfortunately just an excuse not to take a report. Insist that a report be taken. The crime did occur in your jurisdiction because you received a phone call, you received an email, you received a text. That's where the crime occurred. So these responses are not appropriate, so firmly but politely insist on a report being taken. If they still refuse, write a letter. Who else can you contact besides your local law enforcement? Call the FBI, and every jurisdiction has their own branch office, and they will probably direct you to this website. It's called the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, and you can actually fill it out online. So ic3.gov is where you would go for that. Or you could just simply call the FBI in case they want to take a report over the phone, but this is the secondary option. Also, you can contact the Federal Trade Commission as well at fdc.gov.
This is you. You've been ripped off, and you've spotted a scam. Don't keep it to yourself. Take it to the Federal Trade Commission by filing a complaint. What kind of complaint? The Federal Trade Commission is the nation's consumer protection agency. So if a business doesn't deliver on its promises, or if someone cheats you out of your money, the Federal Trade Commission wants to hear about it.
So that's fdc.gov. There's also the U.S. Postal Inspector. If you receive a communication from the suspect through the mail, then you can also contact the U.S. Postal Inspectors, uspis.gov, okay? So in summary, before I throw it back to Mark to see if we have any questions that we can answer, let's all be alert, okay? Be aware of our neighbors, our friends, our family, ourselves. Be skeptical. That's how I've tried to raise our children, who are now 41 and 35. You know, I've always tried to tell them, don't treat everything as being truthful. Test it, question it, cross-examine it. You have to do that. Be inquisitive. It is not rude to be inquisitive. And if somebody that you are feeling you're having this relationship with is not willing to go online and be part of a FaceTime, ask them why not, and then cut them loose. Please, please, please never, ever send money to somebody you've never met. That's the golden rule. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't let your heart convince you otherwise.